Three unique characters provide a distinct way to solve the different puzzles that you will run across in Trine 5. All of the Trine games are fantastic, but I'm specifically talking about Trine 5 because it's the newest one. Up to 4 players can play this game, and you will play as a knight, a wizard, and a thief or archer, and each of these different characters have their own abilities that help you solve the puzzles that you'll run across. This is an action-adventure puzzle platformer of sorts. There is a good amount of platforming, some hidden secrets to find, a little bit of fighting, and a lot of puzzles to solve. If you were to play this on your own, you would constantly have to swap back and forth between the different characters because they each have puzzles that they can help solve. The knight might throw his sword into the wall and then you can jump on it to get even higher. The archer can cut ropes or melt things with fire arrows or freeze water with ice arrows. The wizard can summon balls or blocks or platforms to help you solve the puzzles. It's all really unique and fun to figure out the different ways to solve the puzzles. Some of them can be solved by just one character, some of them need all of the characters, and it's a really fun time to play with friends. Welcome to the Co-op Company. We have played hundreds of couch co-op games, and it is our goal to help you find the best ones, so make sure to subscribe. Biped is a really cute 3D platformer where you play as little robots and you have to control their legs individually with your joysticks. It's a really unique experience, kind of like learning to walk again as you use the joystick to put one foot forward then the next. You can eventually even glide on some surfaces, which is really fun. Aside from just the puzzle of learning how to walk again, the game also presents a lot of cooperative puzzles. There might be platforms where one of you has to step and then the other has to step and then the other has to step, and if you get out of order, then the platform disappears and you fall to your deaths. I remember another puzzle where we had to hand each other logs to chuck into this thing in order to get a gate to open. It's in a really colorful world. There are a couple of other bots that you'll also interact with. So there's one where you always have to have 3 feet on the platform at once or else it starts shrinking and you end up having to take this other robot back across with you. So he's walking and you guys have to time your steps around his steps so that the platform doesn't shrink too much. The game is really short. I think it was only about 3 hours or so. You can only play with 2 players, but it is so much fun. And the second one is coming out soon. It will support up to 4 players. Shift Happens is a very sterile 2D puzzle platformer. This one has you playing as 2 gooey creatures and you can actually shift your mass between one another. So it creates a lot of really unique ways that you can solve puzzles together. One of you is going to be big and one of you is going to be small at all times, but you can swap who that is. So the big person can pick up the little person and throw him across the map, or you can jump on these jump pads and in the air switch your mass so that the little guy's up in the air and then he switches his mass to be the big guy and he falls down and hits the platform and bounces the little guy back up, and you can actually create a bounce where you're getting higher and higher in order to get to the platform you need to. There are a ton of really unique puzzle opportunities like that in this game, where one of you is going through a little small area and the other guy ends up needing to change into a small guy, so he changes the mass to the other guy, and because the other guy was small in a small area, he becomes big and he explodes and you die and you have to restart the level. So you have to be really wary of when you switch your mass and what it's going to do. I think our only problem with this game is that getting all of the stars in a specific level was often really tricky, so we just stopped getting all the stars. Portal 2 is perhaps the best cooperative puzzle game out there. This one has you playing again as robots, but you actually have this thing called a portal gun, which lets you shoot the wall. It creates a portal there. You shoot the ceiling, it creates a portal there, and now you can walk through that one on the wall and fall through the one on the ceiling, and the amount of possibilities that come with this are insane. Eventually you'll be creating portals for lasers to go through or for little bridges to go through. A lot of the time you might be trying to get a companion cube from one spot to the other, so you're trying to figure out where you can put portals in order to get to where you need to go. Oftentimes these puzzles are mind-boggling and it can be tough to really wrap your head around going through a wall and falling out a ceiling, and you might even have one on the ceiling and one on the floor and you go through it and you're spinning and spinning and spinning and getting even faster and faster, and then your companion will shoot his portal somewhere else and you go flying. It's crazy, it's fun, the puzzles are tough, and you'll really enjoy playing it. Granted, if you have a problem with motion sickness, this might not be the best one for you. Pico Park is one of my favorite co-op games. This one is guaranteed to make you laugh as you try to play it, and it supports up to 8 players. For this video, I'm talking about Pico Park 2 specifically, but you can kind of talk about them interchangeably because they are the same game, just the second one has more to it. I know the game looks really simple, but it is so fun. This one will take you through all sorts of different genres of games, from shoot 'em ups to puzzles to platformers, but all of them have a little bit of a puzzle element to them. And that puzzle element is how the two of you will work together to accomplish the level. And because this supports up to 8 players, the levels will also adapt to the amount of players that you have, so that you will need to use all of the players in order to solve the puzzles. This involves things like a vacuum that you can use to grab other players and carry them to places, a portal gun of sorts that allows you to shoot a player and load them as ammo so that then you can shoot them somewhere else in the map, and tons of other cute little features. None of these features stay around for very long, so they're really fun to experience and then move on to something new. Chicory, A Colorful Tale is an adventure game in a bland world that you get to color in yourself. The world has been wiped clean, all of the color has disappeared, and the painter with it, but you find the paintbrush and you will use it to color the world around you and discover what happened to the painter and try to fix the problems that you'll run into. But it's also filled with a lot of really fun puzzles. Painting different things will create different interactions. You might be able to make some things grow and some things shrink, and this will allow you to create platforms or bounce yourself somewhere or open new areas to go and explore. It's not a traditional puzzle game, but it does have some puzzle elements and is really cozy and fun to play together. Player 2 has a little less control than Player 1 here because Player 1 controls the character and can walk around the world and talk to people, but you both get to do all of the painting together. If you want something that tells a little bit more of a story and has some fun puzzle elements, this one might be your jam. Like Pico Park, you might judge Loop Index by its visuals, and that would be a mistake. The puzzles here remind me of the puzzles you might find in an old Pokemon game. There are trackpads that when you walk across them will push them in the direction they are pointing. There are little frogs that you can interact with. When you interact with them, they go jumping across and go straight, and wherever they end up, and sometimes you need them to press buttons. There's boulders or different things to push around into different areas to activate buttons, and it's really fun to work together with 2 of you trying to solve the puzzles at the same time, and you might even be in different areas where one of you needs to do one thing and the other needs to do another thing in order to actually solve the puzzle. Interestingly, this one also has some boss fights, which were really fun and intriguing to play through, though the last boss fight we never actually beat. We gave up after trying it for a long time. Before we talk about this next fantastic puzzle game, did you know that we have a Discord? We would love to have you come join us in the Discord, join the group of couch co-op gamers that we are putting together. We'd love to chat with you about your favorite co-op games, about games we would recommend. We try our best to let you know when there are game sales going on and all sorts of stuff, so go use the link in the description and come join us in our Discord. Ibb Obb, like Portal 2, is fairly old, but it still holds up to this day. This is a 2D platformer that involves a gravity switching mechanic. There is a center line in the game, and when you cross that line, gravity will switch and you will flip over or whatever. There are a couple of really interesting mechanics here. If you find a white door, you can both go through that door, but if you find a colored door, only the character that color can go through it and enter the other side of the world. There are little enemies that you'll find that can only be killed from one side of the world. One of you is taller than the other, and you can use that to your advantage in boosting up to different places. You'll even use the momentum that you get from jumping up high and then falling through the gravity door to actually get up to different places. It's really unique and fairly cozy at the beginning, but the puzzles do get pretty tricky and hard towards the end. WarioWare Get It Together is one of our favorite co-op games. This one may or may not be considered a puzzle game depending on how you feel, but it introduces little micro games to you. These micro games could last anywhere from like 2 seconds to maybe 30 seconds. They are presented to you incredibly quickly, and within that short period of time, you have to figure out what it is you have to do to beat the level. It is incredibly fun to try to solve these puzzles so rapidly, and many of them are just incredibly simple as sticking somebody's finger up their nose or squeezing all of the toothpaste out of a tube of toothpaste. It's weird and wacky, and there's not really a whole lot of cooperation, but both of you have to think really fast to know what you need to do. Different characters you choose to play as will even have slightly different variances in how they move and attack and stuff, so that's another fun feature. This game is an absolute blast. It's a laugh, it's fun, it's quick, and it has hundreds of little micro games for you to solve together. KeyWe is a really cute and unique cooperative puzzle game that we don't talk about often because it has a Ouija board in it that you are forced to interact with, and we personally didn't like that, but all of the mechanics in this game are fantastic, so I feel it only fair that we mention it here. You play as two little KeyWe birds trying to run a post office. You'll jump up and butt pound things to interact with them, whether it's buttons to label things or to ship things, or a typewriter to type out a different word. You'll send letters flying and all sorts of different stuff that you're seeing in the video right now. Whether you're trying to write letters with different words you find scattered around the area, trying to navigate different conveyor belts, moving through the water, or just customizing your KeyWe to look how you want, this one is really fun with the one exception I already mentioned. Puzzle games are fantastic, but sometimes you need a little action and adventure in your life, so check out this list of our best cooperative action adventure games that you can play in 2025. I cannot wait to see you over there. I love you guys. Y'all are awesome.